Hallo. Okay, hi everybody. Please take a seat so that the front rows won't stay empty. Welcome back to Block and Wine. Don't be shy. You can grab a drink afterwards. But we would love for you to take the seats here so that our speakers also can see you sitting here. Perfect. So welcome back to Block and Wine after our autumn break. And this is a very special event because we will introduce you to our brand new format, Block and Start, and especially that will do Georg Brameshuber. He will introduce you to what Block and Start is, and then Inea, who is the program coordinator, give you more details on how to apply and how to get involved with Block and Start. And we are very happy to welcome you back and welcome Georg on stage.
Thank you all. It is my pleasure that we are taking our stage for ourselves today, because it is now since 3 years now in a row that we are in some format or in other capacities using and doing Block and Wine as we are accustomed with, where we have a glass of wine and we chat about what are the purposes, and our purpose is clearly where we are, and that is within the Web3 space. And especially in times like today, or especially yesterday, your purpose is getting challenged by all that what is happening out there. But I guess it's also because of what's happened yesterday, and you all could call it Wild West, but that is why we are here. We want to build the future with all the pits and perils we are having, and that's why we are here. And we are not here because we look to the perils. We are here because we want to start something, and that is what is our inner core, our inner definition, to build something and to take something off. And we are building on something which is, of course, Block and Wine, and to get it off is what we introduce is Block and Start. With Block and Start, what we want to do with Block and Start, we are building a stage for founders, for talents, for visionaries to build something, to clearly get on the way. We have Block and Wine, yeah, we drink something, yeah, we exchange our views, but now let's get it started, and that's what we want to do with Block and Start. So that's a whole and a big story about all this, what we are doing. Now into details, so why we are coming to that and what is the inner core of ourselves and driving towards our new program, Block and Start. It is actually one big number, and I guess we are all in this number. 51% according to Microsoft, and according to that data, 51% of Gen Z envisions doing some of the work in the metaverse in the next 2 years. And the next 2 years is obviously the nearer future. And now some of you might joke whether you're still Gen Z or not. Doesn't matter, you're here on a Wednesday after FTX, the second biggest exchange in the world, simply collapsed, and you're still seeing the purpose of Web3, and here, as Microsoft put it, the metaverse. What is the Web3? And there I go pretty back to our fundamentals. I go pretty back to where we all started as a Block and Wine inner core community, and Sherman actually framed it. Sherman, back in the days when Block and Wine started, was the head of the Crypto Economic Institute at the WU Wien, and she wrote a tremendous book. That book is called The Token Economy. I guess that's the Bible of all of us. If you don't have that Bible beyond your pillow, you should have it, at least if you're drinking wine on a Wednesday evening. But what is the idea of Web3? The Web3 clearly is the term we are using in our context as the new form of how we engage in the digital space. where we see the development from Web 1 onwards, where we obviously read in the information economy. The second step is, that's where we are actually, and also with all its perils in the crypto economy. Let's take a look at centralized exchanges, where we have Web 2, read and write, where we have the platform economy, and that's what is still at grasp also, of course, in crypto business models. But where we are truly focusing is Web 3, where we clearly read, write, and also execute within business models and tokenized ecosystems. And that is what is our understanding, and that is where we are clearly focusing at. So please take a clear look at if ideas, projects, startups, or crypto industry representatives are taking the stage here at Block&Wine. Do they truly represent Web 3 business models, or is it still Web 2? But that is up to you, and I guess that is where we are here. Let's go into the future, let's go into Web 3. So what is Web 3, and what we clearly want to focus at? So just a few aspects where we clearly see where Web 3 is underway. It is, of course, everywhere, which is coming in together with, of course, NFTs as a use case, but particularly within virtual reality. That's, of course, the theme, and we had metaverse already in this data. Second, we were obviously discussing what is about block, and in 2018, everything was blockchain heals the world, simply put. But still, it is the backbone of everything of this. So tremendous and beyond research and work on and with the technology is still in a core. So yes, blockchain technology. Then, of course, if we have one use case which is clearly out there, and Bitcoin shows it, it is, of course, the digital payment solution. So payment solution, the payment sector is of the inner core within Web 3. Then, of course, all which comes along with that, fintech, DeFi, and new tremendously strong upcoming tendencies towards gaming and art. I have to mention security as well, right? Not because of yesterday, but clearly security is a core aspect, especially if you engage in the digital world. From the Ukraine crisis, we can see that global aspects, global changes, global major transformative occurrences are not only happening in the real world, they are as well happening digitally. And then, of course, use cases in industry, which focusing on industry, real estate, and of course, mobility. We're seeing a clear focus, and you can see on all the startups happening there. And last but not least, we do see, of course, in the times, they're changing also within the climate aspects of sustainability and edutech, and we were discussing that heavily now within the Ethereum 2.0 change as well, and with the vibrant Bitcoin community, whether this is really the case and whether sustainability matters really do matter. So that is what we understand Web3. Please challenge us on that, and please keep us evolving on that, because that's why Block&Wine is here, to see what is going within the Web3 space and what is happening within the Web3 space. And we're gonna see on our way forward and on the journey way forward that this term Web3 is gonna be changing and evolving over time. Time is the matter here. So where we are, this is a slide actually for people who are not frequently visiting Block&Wine, but still, I guess this slide is out there, and this is message. We are in comparison to the internet still very, very early, 1989. And when we talk about crypto adoption, this is where we are, crypto as one part of our Web3, but of course a crucial part. And not only because of yesterday, but also because of the time we are now in, it's actually now the time we want to build something. Block&Wine is here since now 3 years, so now it's the time to take this on, not only in Vienna, but also in Vienna and beyond. So our aim is not only to build something which is the next Web3 business model. We have one clear aim, and that aim is we are shaping the society by doing so. Drinking a wine is a pretty much social behavior, and all what we are doing within Web3, being directly engaging with each other, is our aim where we are going towards to. And that is also the inner truth of Web3, and I may sound now like a preacher, but if a business model is not a plus for anyone, it's not going to be a business model for Web3. So that is our clear understanding when we talk about building and starting Web3 business models. What do we do now at Block and Start? Well, 3 simple things, because we are aiming clearly at the founders, clearly at the talents who want to build something. So first, in order to get the founders to build something, we give them within our startup competitions a first money in grant, which is a financing sum of up to 25,000 euros, up for the talents to use it as a Kickstarter. Who is the particular group? Not necessarily a founded startup, which is already existing, but clearly those who haven't not received any funding or being not yet, well, fully self-employed, but still in employed circumstances or still in education. What is our message behind? Our message behind is, in one sentence, we are incubating and we are accelerating. By doing it, we are a clear deal flow for investors. Of course, that is what is crucial. You know, you need the means in order to start it, and we clearly take a look at what are the crucial parts to link together. We do see a lot of visionaries taking at industry applications, but not seeing the Web3 aspect there, especially when you're talking, for example, about token engineering, which is at the beginning of Block&Wine always being a big theme. And then, of course, we simply want to provide here, we are here. Block&Wine gives a stage, we want to provide visibility, and we want to provide our network to that starters. So what can you get? Of course, access to first money, the network to investors and experts. We connect to other Web3 talents and startups, and we do, of course, MVP kickstarting. We are not expecting anyone to have an MVP ready, but what we expect from everyone who is participating, that we're gonna kickstart an MVP within the program. And of course, we're doing, and that is pretty much one of the most crucial aspects, we're gonna clearly focus also on speed dating for co-founders in order to get them within the team, within the right team, in order to set up their own Web3 team. So our aim is, and we had a lot of speakers already here on stage with very elaborate paradigms on what is a clear token model and how such a token model should be diligently audited. We have a clear message. It is up to the singular person, up to the singular driver in the seat who is driving that purpose. So it's clearly the talents, and we are clearly here to invest in the talents. Who are we? We are Block&Wine. We are the Austrian longest running crypto and blockchain meetup, where a lot of startups already get their first stages on. And just to be very frank, and we'll chat over a glass of wine later about it, there were also a lot of flops, but that's all about it. We start, we get on the way. We don't know where it's going to lead us, but let's get them on the way. Who are we? We are our head of Block&Wine, our marvelous Sophia. We are our head of growth, Robbie, Crypto Robbie, our program coordinator, Inea, and Clemens, who is sometimes behind the scenes, but also clearly also within our team. What is our roadmap? So we are starting today. We are now publicly launching Block and Start, and we are doing our first competition still this year. We're doing it on December 14th, so everyone is invited to apply for the first competition until December 4, and our goal for 2023 is clearly we're going to have meetups in Belgrade, Tiflis, Tbilisi, and of course in Praterstraße as well, and we're going to have 9 more startup competitions in 2023 with the clear message that we're going to build starting Web3 ventures on that way. We already have, and that is one of us is just striking to me already, local teams in the cities, and it is my dream, my boldest dream, not only to build beyond the cities we have here, but clearly grow stronger together in the CE region. Yeah, that's it. From me now, I'm happy, or we are happy to take questions, but for the time being, to take some questions away, I hand over to Enea, because she will now reflect on what are the clear criteria and how to apply, and what are the necessary points from infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Georg. Hello, welcome also from my side. My name is Enea. Usually you see me somewhere around there. Also the program manager, and I'll also be responsible for the application process, which I'm gonna walk you through now. So our basic application criteria are we are investing in pre-seed startups. So if you have found it already, that's fine. But if you want to be in one of our competitions, make sure to sign up before you've been too far in the process. So we put up there, founded less than 1 year. For the pitch on the 14th of December, we want to have an elevator pitch because we want to have the jury to have enough time to comment on your pitch. And what is the minimum input in your pitch is who you are, what is your idea, what is your vision, basically. And for your application to submit online, so all of the information you can see here is also online. You scroll down on the website a little bit, you will have an application button, and for your application, please submit a little bit more information than just only your pitch. So either it's a pitch deck, it's your business model, it's your idea. If you have a business model already, that's fine, submit it. If you have financials already, submit it. Whatever you have, but at least your pitch deck would be good. Please also make sure to submit the CVs of the core members so we know who you are and what is the problem you're trying to solve within all of the topics Georg just explained right now. So what is the problem? What is your idea? And for further information, please also tell us, have you received already any funding, any investments? Do you have any profile we can look up already? Do you have social media? Do you have a landing page? Do you have, are you in news with your idea? Any publications, white papers, patents? Yeah, right. And also if you have any investment partners, any advisors, guidelines, anything that can help us with our process. If you have any questions, of course, you can just ask us. You can write to the email. You can directly contact me. Right. So one thing I want to point out, which has not already been said, is that we're trying to find solutions for value-added society. We're trying, you can see Sophia is usually on stage here. It's me on the team. If it's girls that have a good idea, please come forward, come present your idea. Right. So again, the application deadline will be the 4th of December. So we have enough time to look through the pitch decks. And then on the 14th of December will be our first presentations, right? Okay. Can you?
Thank you, Enea. So there's only one thing more to say. Where's the clicker? Okay, maybe we can go one forward. Where is it? Because the most important call is to apply now. So if you have a startup, if you have an idea, if you are only in the idea stage because, as Georg said, we invest in talents. So if you have a team working on an innovative Web3 idea, please send us an email with your pitch deck and apply. And also, if you want to follow us, we are very happy about everybody who subscribes to our newsletter, because we are also with Blog and Start just starting up, and everybody who subscribes to our newsletter is very, very valuable to us. And now I will give the stage to Robbie Schwertner, aka Crypto Robbie. He will be our keynote tonight and explain to us why we're actually starting Block and Start now.
Thank you, Sophie. Block and Start, it is what it is called. Like, we start with blockchain initiative. Georg has presented, Inea has presented the details. I will not bore you with a long keynote, it will be very short, but there are two aspects. We had the following idea, and it's very special for this today. It's the 9th of November, 9/11, and Broadcasting Today wrote it's the 9/11 of crypto today, which I gave them as a hint, the headline. I told them maybe it would be, because we have the problem that the crypto market is crashing. The funds are really, I mean, our faces, I mean, still happy, pretending. And so what we try with this initiative is to still fund projects, still support initiatives. And the idea is also we are pre-seed. So we can be, projects can be funded in the very early stage. Ideas, concepts. Because there are lots of VCs around, and if you look at the funding landscape, there are 4 different types of funding. First funding type is governmental. In Austria, 1 billion is spent on projects in R&D. The largest funding body is the FFG, Forschungsförderungsgesellschaft, the Austrian Research Funding Agency. They spend 1 billion. But if you Google their project database and Google for Web3, guess how many projects are funded? Web3? Yes, good guess. Yes, 0. You can check. Yeah, if you go there, project database on the main page above the. So 0. Interesting. Yeah. 45 blockchain projects have been funded so far since 2009, research projects by this funding body. In Germany, it's even worse. The largest program there is, it's called ZIM, Z-I-M, 0 Web3, of course, but Germany is 10 times bigger, and a few blockchain projects. So we have from the governmental side not really enough funding. Second is corporates. Corporates have their own funding, usually innovation fund. I do also technology consulting with them, so technical risk assessment and so on. I see there is almost no blockchain funding going on beyond proof of concept with Ethereum, something like running the coffee machine or something with a token, their own internal ones. So the second, the corporates like Siemens, like General Electric, they all have their funds. OMV have an innovation, they have innovation funds. Almost no funding. So the corporates are really also weak. Stronger are VCs. Venture capitalists, that's the third group where I see. They are quite strong, but they have strings attached. Of course, they want to make profit in the long run, at least 5 years. And we know in crypto, 5 years, that can change a lot. Yeah. So the VC's money was there. But if you talk to venture capitalists now, we have the problem, the funding is reducing because of the overall market situation. It's really hard to get VC funding at the moment. Third, so the fourth funding scheme, so we had a government, we had companies, we have VCs, funds, and the fourth is crypto funding itself. For instance, the Ethereum Foundation has a large grant fund. Aave has it, and Compound has it. Chainlink has 4 different streams. They have community funding, innovation funding. They have bug fixing, bug bounty, they call it, and they have a kind of social impact funding. Chainlink has a big funding program, and others. The Solana has one for NFTs up to 50,000 euro. And but the problem also, strings attached. Because then you have to work within their ecosystem. It's not linked to a certain, yes, of course, Algorand has also wonderful, I got, you know, Algorand has also, Algorand blockchain important. By the way, LimeWire is a blockchain project, it's a blockchain project, and they run on Algorand. Just to mention, it's an Austrian project, not Ethereum, they have chosen Algorand. So these blockchain projects, of course, have also strings attached. They want to fuel and support their ecosystem, their particular ecosystem. So what we try with Block and Start is not to save the world from all these strings attached, but it's a tiny little brick, a stone in this beautiful mosaic of funding to support blockchain projects which make sense, and of course Web3 projects. And Web3 projects, Georg and Enea have already mentioned the topics. What we are looking for is convincing ideas. When we talk about NFT solutions, new coin currency solutions, new DeFi solutions like wrapped coins, interchain solutions, new identity solutions, new, of course, applied solutions, which we still miss a lot. Yeah. I was head of the Austrian research program for real estate and smart cities. There is still, we would have contacts to large real estate companies, but I personally would not go to real estate companies because to present them Web3 solutions, because we don't have it yet. What would be interesting, of course, is the mention, of course, AI and Web3 solutions. VR and AR, of course, that's evident with metaverse hype. We'll see whether we'll have projects here. Having said that, yes, and of course, where is the train is going, we don't know. What is the intention of? We want to see not only projects, topics, and this technical part. We want to find the talents. We want to find people. That's the core idea. And maybe some companies, large companies, there's this war for talents going on. We heard that. So they fight for good people. So maybe they could be interesting when we give stage to people who are good, who build, yeah, but maybe cannot speak on stage so well. So the idea is also to support talents, teams, whatever. And we have a focus on Europe, of course, Central Eastern Europe, because we think there the funding is even weaker than rich Berlin and tiny little Austria and even richer Switzerland. So that's why we go to Belgrade, we go to Tiflis, Georgia, and see projects there because they have excellent coders in the region. And yeah, that's the frame. Pre-seed, super early funding, and that's what we would like now is maybe you have some questions to all of us, yeah, to Enea, Georg, because for instance, for the topics we presented them here. What would you miss? First question to the auditorium. Yeah, I will come. Second question is. How would you, we have seen also the requirements, what would you miss, or is it too much, or what would you prefer, how to contact us? Yeah, that's the two questions. Thank you. And this
Yeah, first of all, thank you for this initiative. I think it's really good that we have that in Vienna now, Block and Start. It really sounds promising, you know, so I think there's a really good project that we empower Web3 projects. And the only topic I miss here in this presentation here on the right side for all these topics is like media.
Ah, yeah.
So there's also web-free media.
True.
And hopefully we can present that in the next weeks then and here at Block&Wine as well.
Noted, we will do that, media. And if you come up with other topics, we'll try to include that, of course, because this is just a suggestion of topics. That's not an exclusively topics we favor. That was our idea of what could be interesting, and that's bottom up. So yeah, media and communication, content, yeah, true. Thank you. True. Any other question? Yeah, at the back, yes.
Hi, I wanted to ask, because it seems very pre-seed, Georg Prames, who talked about it as well, what if there is already some homepage, some use cases, what if there has been already earned some money on real estate use casing as we are doing as Propex? So are we still eligible for applying, or is it too late for us? I don't really let's categorize that right now.
Yeah, actually, good question. And I mean, your project, you should be on stage sometime very soon, but that's a different matter. No, it's a case-by-case decision. What we're clearly focusing is getting ideas on the way. So no strings attached. If you're already taking revenues, wow, that's awesome. If you already have a landing page, well, that's a no-brainer in the digital age anyway. So gladly submit, go ahead. We'll see what's going up, but the clear focus is twofold. First, the talents, and second, the convincing idea. That's it. If you have it, go and apply.
More questions.
So I have a question for you. What are your strings attached? Is it a grant that you're giving out? How do you make money out of this initiative?
That's the story. There are no strings attached at all. So the up to 25K, they are in cash. If, of course, you have a convincing idea, and if you're, of course, by yourself, and we trust in each and every one single individual convincing talent. So that's it. And that's our clear message. No strings attached, because it's up to start and not up to getting strings on the way. So we are clearly, and we don't have any investment contracts in place which attach some strings there. So that's a clear outline. And then, of course, again, it's as case-by-case basis, but that's up to the detailed investment fees here. But the clear outline and our clear message here is, you are having a convincing idea, you are in talent, you get a startup grant of 25K, that's it.
Yeah, no strings. There will be a contract, of course. No strings. There will be. We don't hand over the cash and let just run. There will be a contract, and what we are, we are still block and start. We're starting this process, and it will depend on the project, on the content of the project. So there will be some tiny strings, of course, in the way that we would want the team to work on the project and not just take the money and go to whatever nice island. So there will be some strings, but that's not equity in the first place. We will not invest in the project, but it's like a price for the idea in a way. It's like a competition and then an award for the idea. Yeah.
What a funny story is, we now use the Web 2 terminology. In Web 3, is there a company necessarily? Do you invest in an equity stake? Really? That's all about it? I think we haven't grasped the idea of Web 3 yet, so that's why I think that is the case, and that's why we want to get on the start that way.
There were some more questions. Please raise your hand.
Can you tell me more about network, what you have with partners, or to whom I can speak from name of my project, for example?
Yeah, we have a numerous partners. We announce all them. So beyond our just network we're gonna have within Block and Start, for Block&Wine network by itself and by design. So we are having now the 116th meetup here. So we had in some 880 speakers at Block&Wine. So alone that is such a strong network. We can provide you on that way. And of course, all of ours, which will be announced until December 14th, will be, of course, that valuable partnership you're going to seek in order to gain that traction you want to seek as a talent. Yeah.
Is there a requirement that the company or the future company should be incorporated in Austria, or?
We are not a governmental funding body. We are not linked to a nation. We are not linked to a blockchain, and we are not linked to a company. So that's what I explained. We are so quite free. Any other question?
Now is your time, because of course all of you have ideas for Web3 and you will apply hopefully very soon to Block and Start. Please feel free to ask your questions. No more questions.
They don't need to be
Yes, there is one more.
Not a question, but just a comment, if you don't mind, if you just stand up really quick, because I'm a little bit a part of this whole thing too. One thing I want to mention, it's not only about completely new projects, like, oh, I'm thinking of something like, I don't know, the new Golden Egg or something like that. If you have an idea how to make the world better with Web3, even with an existing company, with an existing project, or you know that you're working for a company and they're not listening, for example, and you want to take this to a new level, this is exactly what we're looking for. We're here to really make the world a better place. Like, as silly as it sounds, but this is where we come from. You know, we've all been here for a couple of years, and we want to give back. So far, for no strings attached, the only strings that are attached are the ones that we take you to pull you forward. This is what we want to do. So, yeah, bring out your ideas.
Now you've met one of our industry partners. That's our network. That's Michael from Various Systems. Actually, he was the inventor of crypto stamps, which are now distributed globally. So, Mike, thank you for that.
Yeah, about the network, of course, we have some investors. They, of course, they are also interested in finding projects. Usually some of them we can name because they are in the course of this process. We will name, of course. Some they want to stay in the background because for corporate reasons sometimes they cannot, they don't want to show their competitors that they are active in the field already now. So there is a competition reason. What we have, Georg mentioned, we have a large network. We have, and of course, when you have a question for your project program manager is Enea, and she will of course be the first contact point when applications flow in, which we hope will flow in. If you not have yourself a project, but if you tell friends, please do. And if you know coders who are working on projects, we want to collect good projects. That's the main aim of our venture, Block and Start. And of course, we will try also to receive more fundings, more 25K tickets. So if you're an investor and also interested, that's the second point. Thank you.
Thank you all for your questions. And thank you all for coming to the launch of Block and Start. It was really nice, and I would really ask you to apply to it. I think in Austria, I think you mentioned it, we have a broad landscape, but I think nowhere is the application sent in a pitch deck via email and CVs. It's very easy to apply, and that was by intention, that we have a very low threshold for you to get your ideas out there and apply. We're all, I think you realized it today, very passionate about the Web3 space and what it can be in the future. And we are hoping for many applications of existing projects, of projects that are just in the idea phase. We really want to help young teams get ahead. So the email is apply@blockandstart.com. Just send us an email with your pitch deck and we'll reach out to you. And our first competition will already take place in December until the 4th of December. So don't wait too long to send the link to all of your friends. If you have friends in the space who are already working on projects who might want to apply. I'm myself also a startup founder, and I know what it means to have money in the beginning. It can really be a game changer. And we also have the network, so we are looking forward to many applications. And that's it, basically. So now we're going to the networking and wine part. You will be able to answer questions, also to apply at Block and Start. So if you have questions, just pop them to us. Today is a very interesting day for all of us in crypto. Next week we'll have a very cool event with Bison here, where we talk about the future of exchanges, regulation, trust, and we'll hope to see you all again here next week. So Block and Wine is every Wednesday here. Please make sure to sign up for our next meetup already. And now, thank you all for being here, and enjoy a glass of wine, do some networking, and make sure to at least sign up for our newsletter. Thank you.